This is the next lesson in a series of lessons on programming with Java for FIRST Robotics. The next step is to go ahead and install the Netbeans development environment. To install that, we'll go to www.netbeans.org and we'll go ahead and say we want to download Netbeans. Here we have multiple choices. You'll need to choose your appropriate platform up here, whether it be Windows or a Mac or Linux. And we have several choices here of what to install. We're going to go ahead and choose the column with all in it and say download. And once we do that, it'll come down and start to download. Now it's a fairly large install, so to save a little bit of time, we're going to go ahead, we've already downloaded it, and we're going to go ahead and just install it. So we'll choose Netbeans. Now to install this, you want to make sure that you're an administrative user on this computer. We'll go ahead and say yes, we want to run this program. It's going to go ahead and get the installer ready for us. This installation can take anywhere from a few minutes to 20 or so, depending on the power of your computer. This is a fairly large program, and it wants to install a lot of things by default. We're going to go ahead and customize it. We're going to go ahead and turn off Java EE, Java Card, C++, Groovy, PHP, and if this check mark was available, you'd uncheck this so that we don't install the Glassfish server. And we'll go ahead and say OK. What we do want to make sure that is here is the base ID, Java SE, and Java ME. We'll go ahead and click OK, and we'll say next. We'll set the terms of the license. You should always review those. And then this next next screen has to do with JUnit license that we probably won't use, but we'll go ahead and say we'll accept it and click next. And then from here on, we're going to take the defaults. We want to make sure that our JDK is the correct one, which is the 1.6.0.32. And we'll go ahead and say next, and we'll say install. Now, an interesting thing about the Java versions is sometimes you'll hear it referred as Java 6 and Java 7, or you'll see it often as 1.6 and 1.7. The more common reference now is Java 6 and Java 7. For our purposes, we'll be using Java 6. This install will take several minutes. And we'll be continuing this series on, and we'll look at next installing the plugins, and then we'll go through some basic Java programming, and then get into programming the robots. So there'll be several more lessons to come. Okay, and now it looks like Netbeans has finished. Um, this screen's asking if you want to contribute to the Netbeans project by sending anonymous usage data. You usually just go ahead and turn this off and just say finished. And now we should be able to go and start up Netbeans. And it's asking me if I want to bring in settings from a previous version that I had installed in here. I'm going to go ahead and say no. And there we go, Netbeans has started up. And it's installed.